Three groups, 1, 2, 3. Easiest way to do this, and I think you're the presenter, the rapporteur of the first group, so the floor is yours.
Yes, I'm co-presenting. I hope you can hear me, because I have all my group members there and they're going to help me with this. Because there's so much conversation going on, we couldn't really decide what we wanted to say to the policymakers. So, obviously we were in three groups as everyone else was, and our focus of course was in soft skills in entrepreneurship education to reduce fragility and marginalisation. So, do you want me to concentrate only on this, yeah? Only on that, okay.
Maybe also summary, 2 minutes and then...
Okay, summary. So, we came up with 3 key competencies for entrepreneurs, and that was because of time really. Effective communication, adaptability, and self-motivation. And we found that the strategies and methodology and tools that can be used to facilitate the acquisition and development of these soft skills was in terms of ensuring that, one of the ways was ensuring that the educators were themselves not just in theorists, but they could understand the practicalities of entrepreneurship and could work with that, but also developing a toolkit that could be adaptable and flexible. And then moving on then to how we can ensure that inherently invisible and implicit entrepreneurship soft skills could be more visible and relevant within society. We came up with some answers, and one of them was that we should all together have a clear terms of reference for all of these competencies. So if you're saying that we're talking about confidence or adaptability, we all have to have the same definitions for it all. And so when we develop indicators, we'll all be on the same page. And another thing we talked about was that we had to develop certifications that would affirm soft skills, because they're not something we usually talk about. When we talk about entrepreneurship, we're talking about more hard skills than soft skills. Okay, so zero in then onto the message we have for policymakers, which you have had time actually putting together. The first thing we talked about was that we wanted to see a more focus. Now, a strong focus, emphasis on the word strong, because somebody said focus can be like this or can be like this. So we wanted a stronger focus on soft skills in education, such that there would be more in terms of the language that was used every day from the kindergarten up to adulthood, adult education, so there'd be a stronger focus on soft skills. Also, we wanted policymakers to think about facilitating certification, such that you'd have people having certification that they could also use in other areas of life, such as going on to higher education, that would affirm these skills. Thirdly, we talked about facilitating horizontal mobility for educators. And also we talked about creating open spaces for entrepreneurial interactions. And I'm going to call on my colleague to just give a few seconds just to talk about that. And then the fifth point then was that we wanted to create and implement soft skills in the education system, and Pernille will just give us a few seconds of that as well. So we'll start with you.
So open spaces means, the main point is it has to be directed at policymakers. So we need to talk about things policymakers can do. So what policymakers can do is provide resources for other people. And one resource which is important for entrepreneurship education, for creating entrepreneurs, is to have open spaces where educators, existing entrepreneurs, coming entrepreneurs, people who don't know already that they might be, that they can be more entrepreneurial, where they can interact, where they can try things, where things are not defined until to the last comma in the regulations, but where things can be adapted to specific target groups, to specific backgrounds, languages, all that stuff.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'll over to you there.
I can sit very fast.
Yes, so we're talking about creating and implementing soft skills.
Yeah, so we talk about, you all know that we have the European
qualification framework, and what we could suggest is that we actually take the entrepreneurship education and put that into this qualification framework as well, and use the soft skills in that framework. So everybody knows that on level 4 you would actually have these soft skills also, or level 7 then you have it a higher level. So we use something we are familiar with and put the soft skills into that also. So it's actually also back to the certification of it, but it could be measured with the framework.
Thank you. Thanks so much.
Thank you. So, thank you.